Here I have a collection of +1 and -1 circles. Each one represents a separate charge. My goal for this first activity is to match up the +1s and the -1s in such a way that each new grouping adds up to 0. I will do that now. Here's a -1, a -1, and a +1 add up to 0. That's the first group. Here's a -1 and a +1. They also add up to 0. That's my second group. Here's a -1 and a +1, and they add up to 0. Here I have some +2s and several -1s. So once again, my goal is the same, is to create groupings so then when I add up all the positive charges and the negative charges, they add up to 0. Here is my first grouping. 1 +2 is partnered up with 2 -1 circles. This particular group overall has a charge of 0. My second grouping is here, a +2 with 2 -1s. Overall, the charge on this grouping is also 0 because +2 and -2 add up to 0. All right, for this last grouping activity, things are not as straightforward because we have several +3s and several -2s. But our goal remains the same. We have to create groups so that the overall charge is 0 in the group. So I'm going to start by pulling out a +3. I'm going to put it here on the right side. And I will join that one with a -2. Well, +3 and a -2 at this time do not add up to 0. And I only have these numbers to work with, so I need to add more. I will add another -2. Now I have -4 and a +3. This still does not add up to 0, so I will continue adding until such a time as I get a 0 value. I add a +3. I now have a +6 and a -4. I will need to add another -2 to my group to create a neutral charge. Let's check if I've succeeded. I have +6 here and -6 here. +6 and -6 add up to 0. So in my grouping here, I need to have 2 +3 charges and 3 -2 charges, and this will add up to 0.